What is up, you guys? Cheers and welcome back. And we got a little bit of a different video today. This is going to be a little bit counterintuitive and really just kind of the opposite of my normal videos. We're getting festive with it because, as the title says, we are going to throw ourselves the pity party. That's right. Look, all the time in my content, I'm always talking about how, the more you complain, the more you focus on the negative, you're bringing that about. You're bringing more of that into your reality, and you're bringing more and more reasons for there to be for you to complain. And, I'll get some certain people saying, oh, you need to complain, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, like, not really. Here's the thing. Just like I talk about on my channel, two things can be true. Sometimes when your mind just can't let go, it cannot let go. It will not let you let go of the thing. The person that has wronged you, the person that said something to you, the person that did you wrong, the situation, the problems that you have going on, your mind is just like fixated on this. And so I was just talking to my dad before he left, right? And I was saying, you know what, I'm just pissed off right now because I'm thinking about, I'm looking at these old notes. I was frustrated first off because my old notes on my old computer, they're connected to an email account. That email account is connected to my school ID from my university, which I got on the phone with them today, and they deleted that account since it was inactive. And obviously, I'm not going to school there anymore. I'm no longer enrolled there. So they deleted my account, and it's been whatever. That's a whole different tangent. Got on the phone with them, was working all day to try to figure out how to recover the notes from my old computer, import them. I finally got them imported. They were still formatted all like wonky. And I've been using this note take. I've been using Evernote is what it is for the past 12 or 13 years. I've been using it as a journal. And so there's over a decade worth of my thoughts, my ideas, my things that I've written down, me journaling, and all these ideas that I want to keep so that I can refer back to them and, keep them going, keep these notes going. All kinds of just important things that I've written over the years in there. Anyways, frustrated about that. And then I'm looking through this journal, right? And I'm looking at the past couple years. And for you guys that, whatever, I'm not going to get too nitty gritty into the details. But the past couple years, I was in a relationship. And so all these notes that I'm looking at now are just rehashing all of this fucking resentment, to be honest, for the way that their relationship ended. And just for everything going on, right? And I'm just my dad is over here giving me this advice, and he's telling me, you need to do this. You need to do this to focus your attention off. And giving me practical advice. But I'm just standing there this isn't helping right now. I'm just pissed off right now. And it's funny because generally speaking, almost for anything, anytime I have a problem, I always go to, yes, give me the solution, which my dad is attempting to do. Granted, he doesn't actually have an exact solution. He's just more so giving his ideas, which to me aren't really even, they're not really the best, in my opinion. They're not really the resonating for me. They're not really giving me an actionable plan of attack that I feel really confident about in or whatever. He's just saying stuff that makes sense to him, but doesn't really gel for me completely, right? If that makes sense. So I'm just over here though, and I'm I even told him, I'm the way that I am right now is I'm I'm reminding me of one of my ex-girlfriends right now because I don't want the solution, but I'm in a headspace where I understand that you're giving me the solution, and I appreciate that you are trying to give me a solution, but at the same time, I just want to be pissed right now. I just want to be pissed off because you don't understand, you don't get it, you don't get all this stuff that, and I'm just expressing this to him, just venting, and he's like, okay, well, and then he left. And all this is to say that every once in a while, I get it. I get where the mind goes, and it needs to feel upset. It needs to feel and be heard that it feels like you just got fucked over. Like somebody just fucked you over and it's not okay, right? So what can happen then? Here's what happens when we begin to throw ourselves, just allow ourselves to have the pity party. We can do one of two things. We can either get angry, in which case we get so fucking pissed that it gets us into a space where we say, I'm tired of this fucking shit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a change here, right? So we can allow that frustration to kind of bubble up so that it erupts like a volcano, and we can then use that energy and use that energy and focus into something. And I am going to do that actually as soon as I'm done recording here. I'm going to go down into the basement, get a workout in, maybe hit the sauna as well. That's something that I used to do that really feels good. It's one of those things that, like, when you do it, you're like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this. I'm going to get all sweaty and stuff. But as soon as you're done, you feel amazing. And then you go to the shower and it feels great, right? So I'm going to do that. But another thing you can do is laugh about it. If you are able to do that, right? For me right now, I've been pissed. I'm like, whatever. I'm just frustrated, right? And I am at a place right now where I can take a step back and kind of look at myself and observe this as how kind of funny it is. Because, yeah, I'm telling myself that I look like one of my exes right now, because they would very, very often, and this is a, a tangent that we go on. This is, they talk about it in the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And this is a huge thing in relationships where men and women are like this because the man is trying to solve the problem and the woman just wants to be heard, right? Oftentimes when she brings problems. And I understand that every once in a while, for me right now, even though I acknowledge it, I can still tell my dad I appreciate the advice. I know that you're not crazy for giving me this advice. I'm not going to fly off the handle like some of my exes do and say, you're not listening, because I know he's listening. But the thing is, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get what happened in my situation. And so for me, I need to go through these emotions myself. I need to go and allow this anger to well up within me so that I can then channel it into something productive, do something, or that I end up laughing about it, like I said, that I end up looking at myself, seeing this is fucking funny, actually, how much of a bitch I'm being right now. And no offense for anybody out there, but this is just how I see it. It's like, okay, yes, you have your problems. I know. The only thing you can do now is laugh about it. Or the only thing you can do now is, okay, great. Now I'm going to channel this anger that I have into something that is actually going to move the needle in a direction that is towards what I want rather than towards what I don't want. Because the more that I sit and stew here, the more that I'm channeling my focus and therefore going to create more of what it is that I don't want. So the roundabout answer to, can you complain? Can you throw yourself a pity party? Yes, you can throw yourself a pity party. Every once in a while, if it's that bad, like it is for me right now, throw yourself the pity party. Get out the confetti. Tell yourself that you have it the worst, that nobody has it worse than you do, right? And wallow in the self-pity, the remorse, the, fuck the world type of shit. And once you've felt that and you allow those emotions to go through you, because that's important. It is important to allow that frustration, those angers. We don't want to bottle up the emotions inside of us all the time. But sometimes we need to sit with those emotions, throw ourselves the freaking pity party. And at the end of that, now, even doing this is actually therapeutic for me. Even coming on and speaking to you guys in this way and being honest and transparent, because that's part of the reason that I'm throwing this pity party in to begin with. Is I felt like in my relationship that I had, there was so much with that creatively, friendship wise. There was just so much bottled up into the relationship that our creative goals and aspirations. And so I'm looking through these old journals, these old notes, and it's just causing me to well up with this resentment, right? And there is so much that for me felt like it was being blindsided, that it causes this. And especially when I go and there's certain things, like for me, example, reading like the past years of notes where I'm like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And the fact that the relationship ended in the way that it did makes me fucking angry, right? But now I'm taking the time, I'm expressing that, I'm throwing the pity party, I'm saying, yeah, that was really fucked up. That was really fucked. And you don't get it. My dad doesn't get it. You guys probably don't get it either. Nobody's been through this exact situation in the exact same way that I have, even though there are many parallels. And we do often come to find out that even as unique as our situation is, it's actually because of the archetypes and because of the way that things play out. This experience that I've had, I've come to find out, is actually very common for many, many guys in relationships. Of course, it didn't play out exactly the way that mine did with the exact dynamics. Of course, that's never going to be the case, but much the same type of energetic undertone or undercurrent towards what occurred happens to a lot of other guys. So anyways, guys, this right here is just basically a permission slip to say, hey, you can throw yourself the pity party, just like I'm doing right now. The only thing is that just be aware of how long you do that, and then also where you're channeling your energy afterwards. Because if you have this and you allow this kind of outpouring of this energy, because this energy, energy cannot be created or destroyed. So how can we, once we're doing this and we're allowing all these big emotions to come to the surface, then are we channeling them into a workout? Then are we channeling them into, maybe it's that you have been putting off going to go get your hair done, or you've been putting off going to a doctor's appointment or something, right? You've been stewing there with this energy, this stagnant energy, because you've been feeling like shit. And now we're going to get ourselves out of that by doing something for ourselves. And this is where I'm going to, again, delineate between, advice that you might have heard from somebody else or whatever. If it's a relationship thing, people are always like, yeah, you need to just find somebody else, find somebody. Fuck all that. That's not resonating for me right now. What's resonating for me is do something for yourself. It's not about finding somebody. It's never about finding somebody. There's no fucking person out there that's going to make you feel complete. There's no person out there that's going to make you feel at home, like you're okay, like you're good enough, or whatever the hell it is that you're looking for from this person. What's going to make you feel better is you doing something for you. You putting off some goal that you've had for a while. Like I said, doing something for yourself. Maybe it's going to go get a massage. Maybe it could be just redecorating your room. Again, if you've been putting things off, ignoring the fact that you haven't done your laundry, whatever the case may be, doing those things. And then building up a habit. And that's why, coming full circle back to this note-taking app, it can be really helpful to get either note-taking app on your phone or just a daily journal or a daily habit tracker to begin to implement these things. That's what Dylan James talks about in his videos too, is that plan your day and okay, I'm going to do this to be productive, to begin showing up as that version of myself, as that best version of myself. And all these notes that I have that I'm going through that I was trying to import, I have all these throughout different times, like different habits, different phases of my life, or throughout the past couple years especially, where it was like, okay, I'm doing this, and then I did this, and I'm going to the gym, right? Well, getting back on those things, those are the things that make you feel good. And if you've been stagnating or slacking on some of those, which for me personally has been slacking on going to the gym lately, slacking on working out, it's time to bring those back, because that's going to then make you feel at cause. It's going to make you so that you are at cause in your reality again, rather than reacting, rather than allowing this negative cycle of thoughts and feeling states to continue in this loop, which is just not getting you anywhere good. It's right. It's you've gotten into this negative spiral, and entropy is taking place, where your energy is just, it's not where you want it, right? It's not where you want it. That's creative, that's high powered, that's in a creative flow based. And again, that's one of the gripes that I have with this whole situation is, that was one thing that we would feed off of each other in this relationship I'm talking about. We would be, working on all kinds of projects, creative projects, coming up with recipes, making videos, coming up with ideas, planning trips to where we can get even more videos and stuff going, working with brands, reaching out to hotels, all kinds of stuff that we were doing. And I really felt like that all got ripped away, not only with the relationship itself, but literally everything that we had been, in my mind, building together was just all completely like it never happened, or it's like was in this time warp for 2 years, and it's just like all of that was just like, what is that now? I don't know. But anyways, guys, enough of my own like pitiful sorrow story here. I just wanted to share this so that you guys have an idea of how you can do this for yourself, and again, in a way where you are then able to take something good from it, take a benefit from it. Because if you do allow that anger to really ratchet up your emotions, you can then use it to fuel you into your next thing. And that's what my goal is right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing right now. And hopefully I'll be coming out with more just original videos here. I've been doing the psycho-cybernetics readings, and some of you guys like it, but I noticed those videos are getting way less views than usual, which is understandable. They're not original videos. They are me. They do have some original content of me going in and giving you guys my insights on the chapters, but for the most part, they are me reading the chapters along for you guys. The reason I'm doing that is because I think that book is probably one of the best books that I've read when it comes to self-concept, if not the best book that I have read or come across. But yeah, with that being said, guys, hopefully this resonates. Hopefully this is helpful watching this. I just wanted to, take into account or really just share that, I'm human too. Obviously, everybody, we all are. We're all in this same boat together. And it's impossible for us to always be on this high-flying kind of whirlwind all the time. I mean, there are going to be times where we see something, it makes us reflect, it makes us think about something from our past, it hashes up old memories, old wounds, and sometimes when those wounds are big enough, there's really not much that anybody else can do, and then it becomes up to us, though. That is the difference. It's up to us to take responsibility and to channel that energy into something that we want, rather than just being this morose type of person that's just taking the negativity out on others. Like, for example, if I was still in a relationship, or even just with my dad here or whatever, if I'm just staying in this place where I'm just all day long, all week long, for a month, end on end, complaining, or even if it's just for an entire evening, I'm just doing nothing but just complaining, and just like, no advice that he gives me is good, and I'm saying, you don't get it, and blah, blah, like, what's that doing? That's not really doing anything for me. It's not really doing anything for him, obviously. And so what it comes down to is that we take that step within. We maybe want to go, hang out by ourselves, do something where we kind of just separate ourselves from other people, so that we're able to allow these emotions to process on our own. We don't necessarily want to be outpouring this onto somebody else, making it a problem for them, but we process this on our own, channel it. We're like I said, I'm about to hit the gym. Let me know down below for you guys what makes you guys feel better whenever you've had an experience that you can relate or similar to this, where you're just not really not kind of having that, you're kind of going through it. What do you guys do to kind of get yourself back, get yourself in a place where you say, okay, this might suck. It does suck. You can acknowledge that it does, but here's what I'm going to do right now today. With that being said, guys, much love as always. I hope that this video helps. Let me know down below if it does. With that being said, hit me with a like, drop me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. And the last point that I want to make is that I'm not trying to make fun of anybody when I'm saying, like, talking about, whatever. That's just my experience. And I do know that everybody processes things differently. This is my 2 cents on how to do it the best that I know how. See you guys in the next one.